a superstitious man, no. These shoes, they got a curse on them, yo. Sometimes I think they're just chasing me. Don't believe in conspiracies, but seems like they got it out for us. Coincidence is a little too much to believe. Black boots and cold gin, fear the trouble and bad to begin. That's all coming out, baby. Dark times, woman, I can't stop these black boots. These black boots. The stage job's not who I am, no. So far from my rock and roll plans, yo. Dirty fun makes her feel alright. I start to check on runaway at night. Everyone says it's kidding me. I hear you, but it's not that easy. Black boots and cold gin, feel the trouble and bad to begin. That's all coming out, baby. Dark times, woman, I can't stop these black boots. Try to remember what happened last night, yeah. Then you see from these bleeding eyes, see the bedrooms looking through the door. Boots unlaced and a dress on the floor. Black boots and cold gin, feel the trouble and bad to begin. That's all coming out now. Dark times, woman, I can't stop these black boots and cold gin. Feel the trouble and bad to begin. That's all coming out now. Dark times, woman, I can't stop these black boots. Oh no, no, I can't stop these. Oh, these black boots, baby.
Just realized we're both wearing black boots.
Alright, welcome to Audio Carnage Podcast. We are with Matt O'Ree and Aaron O'Ree and Joe D'Angelo. And also, as yet again, we have JoJo over in the corner hanging out. So, welcome. Basically, thanks for doing the session. I really appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out with us and doing this, something that's just getting started, but hey, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And as talented as y'all, it helps with the kickoff of it. So, appreciate it. So, kickoff question. What would you say was your top influences when you were younger? To both of you.
I know mine is different than Aaron's.
And that's fine. This is really just all y'all.
Sure. Obviously, our different instruments that we're spent so much time working on. Mine was Hendrix, and that's really where it started. But then I think every guitar player normally says that, but
just give me
that's where it started. Five.
Yeah.
Big influences. Definitely Jimmy Page, absolutely.
The Jimmys are always good.
Yeah, for sure. Seabury Vaughn, definitely. A lot of Clapton, Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top.
Can't go wrong with getting ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Not at all. What about you, Aaron?
Aretha Franklin and James, Eva Cassidy, Billie Holiday, all the soul guys, Ray Charles, Marvin Gaye, Al Green.
Top 3 drummers.
That I was influenced by?
Yeah, what's your top 3 drummers like?
Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, and John Bonham.
There you go.
They were the early, and Bonham, I really Joe Morello there, and I was fortunate enough to study with Morello a couple of times, which was great. I had about 6 or 7 lessons with Joe, and he was a big influence.
What was the best concert y'all ever been to as like just a concert goer? Like what's the one that was like
Robert Plant.
ooh.
Yeah, and that was recently. We just seen him recently. Man, he's just still. I mean, he's playing.
I mean, but some of those people like B.B. King was touring until like 2 months before he died. Like Willie's 80 something, and he only reason he cancels tours is because the doctor's like, hey. And honestly, like that's kind of it's either that or the alternative.
Sure.
So, okay, where are y'all originally from? I know we talked about this, but let's
Yeah, I'm originally from New Jersey. Still live there. Aaron.
I'm from Maryland.
New Jersey, born and bred.
Yeah.
So, what originally brought y'all like to the Texas area? Like, for those who don't know, we're in Denton, Texas.
Yeah. Joe moved down here.
Yes, my wife moved down here. She got with AT&T. She hot shot with AT&T. She just got laid off, right? After 29 years. So that's what brought us down here. And we were only going to be down here a year. And she said, well, look, I just got to drop you in Music City. I know you play. And we turned out that we really like Texas. It's really nice down here. We love y'all. And I started playing around the clubs, and I was putting stuff on Facebook, and my friends all saw it. And then Matt and Aaron were touring kind of close by. They were in Florida, New Orleans, and New Mexico, and we talked about possibly getting together to do some tours down here. So they bought a tour bus. They come down, bought a tour bus, but now they're in the van, which is even better. So they talked about it. Said, hey man, what do you say we put together a little tour? So that's what I did. It's a little dive bar tour.
So was that the first time y'all ever played in Texas?
We were here 3 months ago.
We're back in November.
Well, I mean, like before Joe moved down here, had y'all ever toured to this area at all?
I played in Austin once.
I mean, that counts. That does count. Like Texas is huge. Like if you drive to Austin, that means you drove to Texas.
Yeah. And Amarillo.
Yeah. I've driven across the state a few times.
I was down in Houston in 2006 playing.
What's some of y'all's favorite venues, like of all? Like, just doesn't have to be in Texas. Just like, what's some of the favorite places that y'all played?
Gosh.
Like just all in all. This is really just about like the one that was just like, ooh, that one was a good show. Like this kind of felt like my personal favorite of the recent area was we played Braille Club and it went very well and that was a lot of fun. But it's just what's one that kind of like had a great experience like.
Want me to tell you?
Yeah, you go ahead. Anybody can start.
You said anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
The club that I love the most. Is the Bitter End in New York City. I fucking love the Bitter End. And I love the Balcony Club here in Dallas because it reminds you of the fucking Bitter End.
No, I don't like the Bitter End.
You're kidding. I fucking love the Bitter End. Listen, that's fucking coming out here first, right? That's Jersey, folks. That's Jersey. Nothing gets done unless we say fuck in New Jersey. Nothing gets done.
Hey, this is cable broadcast. We can't use that language.
You don't like the Bitter End? Oh, I love the Bitter End. Love it.
That's not reminding me more of New Orleans.
Matt, Aaron, you got a thought on the answer?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of places.
What's the one that like hit home?
I mean, for me, it was the Singapore Speedway when I played with Bon Jovi, and it was.
No, shut up.
I mean, yeah.
that's the one.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be. That's gotta be.
Okay, Stephen Colbert Show, how about that?
Ooh, that is a good
That's
show.
so confusing.
See, I had no clue we were gonna get these kind of answers. These are good answers. Alright, so,
That's on the computer. I was like, ooh, this is a Beatles plate.
alright, so what's some of the other bands that y'all been in? Like this, like just give me a list. Like if you have more than 5, cut it off to 5. But I mean some, especially drummers and bassists, like are in like 32 bands at once.
Bands that we're in currently and stuff?
Yeah, no. What's like your top 5 bands that you've been in other than this current like lineup for the Matt O'Ree band?
Oh, I mean, well, I played a lot with Vince Martell from Vanilla Fudge. That was a big one for me. And then up in Jersey, playing with, I played with Matt for a couple of years. Matt and I were it was Matt O'Ree and Blues Sound. That's what we were blues band back then.
Are any of y'all currently in like other projects other than this that are going on? Like
We're not.
no, just
Since I've been in Texas, I've been playing a lot of country music, and I play a lot with big time. I play with Brian Lynn Jones and Misfit Cowboys. I play with Chuck Ligon, or Chuck Ligon as he says. Jason Horn and the Hornets. That's what Rocky Garza on bass, Jason Horn, and also Jeff Hobson. There's another guy. These are country guys, and they're great country singers. These cats, man. They're really good.
Yeah. No, this area has a lot.
And that was all new for me.
And also, it varies in like the genre of country that exists. Like there's you see some of the stadium countries, you see some of the red dirt, you see some of the older style. Like that's not my forte, but man, I first started playing whenever I was like 14, 15, 16 in some of the old country bars with my dad. Like he was playing bass in this. It was Scotty Thurman and whatever they called themselves. Huh?
Scotty Thurman and Perfect Trouble Band.
Yes, and they were constantly having lead guitarist issues. Anybody recognize that issue? so I was this little asshole of a 15, 16, 17-year-old metalhead, and like they would have me come out to fill in for it. So there's a lot of really good spots like in this area that love the country scene.
Oh, without a doubt.
And so if you really want to make some money in this area, like $500-$600 every week, guaranteed, play covers in this area of the country scene. And like not what I want to do, but man,
Well,
it
tell
is
you
good money.
what I saw.
That kind of money.
What I saw when I got down here in Dallas is there were basically two scenes. You had the blues scene and the country scene. And you got the blues scene down here
There's a heavy metal scene.
because Stevie Ray was down here. So you had a major blues scene. You had a country scene. I ended up gravitating to that because I sing. I'm a singing drummer, but the country scene, you're right, tend to make more money. But now there's that newer country scene with the red dirt, and I was telling him about that. And the red dirt country today sounds almost more like Southern rock sometimes. I grew up on Southern rock. It's got that kind of vibe.
All right. So let's switch the question up. So do you have a dream venue, like one that, like a stage? What's the stage that you're like that you're itching to play?
Two of them. One's Madison Square Garden.
I think that
Madison Square Garden and PNC or something.
Yeah, there's a place called the PNC Art Center. It used to be called the Homedale Art Center, which is right by my house where I grew up. I used to walk there as a kid and see shows, and it's just my hometown thing. It's where I grew up, so like I'm dying to play there.
We've been on the stage during Brad Paisley concert.
Yeah, we were right there.
But playing for your stuff.
17,000, I think 500,000 homes, but
That would be a fun stage to play.
Yeah, that's
it's an open amphitheater.
I agree. I played the same ones, the Garden and Madison Square Garden and the Garden State. It was the Garden State Art Center.
Yeah.
So-
when I was a kid, I went to play the Grand Ole Opry.
I like 4 of them would be awesome too.
Oh yeah.
There's like an infinite list of like those.
Red Rocks.
Oh, I
There's also a lot of those like amphitheaters that are for like concert bands that they have in Italy and all over the world that are like basically built like a speaker cone. I've always wanted to play one of those, but I have a little bit of background in like concert bands, so I like those huge choir halls.
Sure.
So, alright, what are some other jobs that you've had other than being a musician? So I'm assuming, like, it's safe to say that everybody in this room, except for probably JoJo, has been a music teacher. Let's steer away from music. What other jobs have y'all done? So let's start with Matt, go to Aaron, and go to Joe.
When I was a kid, I used to cut grass for my neighbors, and was self-employed even back then. But then I used to work at a place called Delicious Orchards, which is it's a supermarket kind of thing like that. But
You were a kid.
I was a kid there.
I'm not looking for glorious responsibility. I'm looking for human. Like, I've worked Pizza Hut. I've worked so many different places. Like, it's really just kind of like looking at the background of everything. What was your most recent non-musical job? Like the most like don't, I don't. Yeah. It doesn't have. We don't need to know timeline. We're just kind of curious about it.
Security guard.
Ooh, that's a good position.
Well, that was only for one day.
That was the most recent.
What was it? What did you say?
I got hired to run security or be a security person at a funeral.
Really?
At a funeral?
Family drama.
Hold on. You got paid though, so.
You got paid, so that counts.
Hey, you got paid though, so that counts. All right, Aaron. Here, what about you?
Well, I do graphic design. I do the current.
What's some of the projects that you've been working on? Just in case we didn't hear, what's some of the projects that you have been working on with graphics design?
There's like a massage therapist in Red Bank, New Jersey. I've been working on her website. Speech language therapist. I've been doing their stuff. I just do. I do all the promo and stuff for our band. I design all the posters. I do all of that.
I've seen that artwork then.
So yeah, I do a lot of that, and I did some of the bands sometimes.
Yeah.
Joe, how I do as a speech instructor.
Probably everything would be a curse word.
Jobs? You want to know jobs?
Yeah.
The last one before I was a musician was 20 years ago. I was an environmental consultant. I was an environmental health and safety manager. I did that for 15 years. I was a corporate guy. You wouldn't believe it. I had money. I had no tattoos. I had short hair, and I had an Audi.
Well, you got your first tattoo.
Yeah. Huh? My first tattoo? I was 46. So that's decent.
Oh, fair enough.
These are over 10 years old. Yeah.
All right. So, also, I know for a fact that you worked as a firefighter for a while. Where did you work there?
I was with East Windsor Fire Company. I was with Arbor Hose, and then I was with Bristol Myers Squibb, the hazmat brigade. And so I was an officer in that. I was a lieutenant because I was a manager of Bristol Myers. So you had to serve on that brigade, and that's because we dealt with all kinds of nasty chemicals. We had Ebola virus in there at the time. We had nuclear stuff, radiation. So a fire company that knows all that material is better than just having a strange fire company come in and don't know where the stuff is at. You're working at a plant, so you have to be very cautious with it.
So, all right, what's a band that we talked about, like dreaming? What's a band you would love to either open up for or play with? Like, what's one of those bands that's just like, oh man, if I could get on stage with them, just yeah. I'm okay with Living or Dead.
Oh, that's Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Dead.
I mean, hard. Consecutive answer is good.
Current, actual current band.
Yeah. What's something now?
Yeah, Tennessee Trucks, or ZZ Top for me.
They'll be showing until they're dead.
Yeah, I saw they're gonna be in Dallas here in June.
Current band too. I'd like to play with Osnoid. You know Osnoid and Torque?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
he's
should.
great, man.
You can
Big
go see
recap.
him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love Oz. I'd play with you anytime, bro. Anytime.
But you know people that know him.
I
You
do.
probably could make that happen.
No, man, he's using some. He's got Keith Carlock and Anton Fig, who are great players, guys.
So, you don't have to name any locations or anything. What's the worst gig you've ever played?
How about the one that there was a DJ playing while we were playing,
In another room.
but it was only separated by a garage door,
So it was just like
like a glass
cacophony
garage
of
door.
sound wrongness.
Fair enough. That's the worst of all?
I mean,
There's always,
that one was interesting.
It depends on how you rank worse. Is it drama involved, or is just something that really aggravates you, or what? It all depends. I mean, there's gigs I want to beat the living shit out of people.
Yeah, there was a gig
that is fair.
I cried afterwards because it was in the...
Most of the gigs, I would say that the worst gigs for me, I don't know if it's just one of them, but it's the ones where it's the jams where people just can't play. So what the
Those are jams.
Those
don't count.
No, you're right. Well, I've had gigs where people can't play either.
I had a gig where the sound guy just didn't turn the vocals on. I had like a 20-minute set and that was it. And he didn't turn the vocals on.
I had, you know what, I'll say, you know what, the worst, it was one who was saying, always blew my eardrum out. I had a sound guy who didn't know what he was doing and hit me with a really high tone and injured my ear. It was with the Best of the Eagles at the time. That was really bad. That shook me up. The sound guys don't realize they have a whole lot of power at their fingertips. They can really injure somebody. You gotta be careful with what you're doing.
Especially on those
very important sound guys.
And everything.
You hurt somebody. Really bad.
So, of your own music, do you have like a favorite song? I know that's like choosing a kid, but if you don't, it's okay. It's just kind of curious.
Huh.
If you're like, all right, I had to perform like
something that we wrote. Or?
Yeah, yours. Okay, go ahead.
Favorite song? I have a song called December Gray. It's probably one of my favorites. I think. If I have that one.
That's really hard.
I know.
It is,
Yeah, it's okay if you can't.
I go through phases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's slide my question slightly. Favorite song currently? Yours. Like if you had to like, all right, you're about to play in front of a bunch of people that made you nervous, like people that you really respected. Put like all the living and dead musicians that you're like, oh, I fucking love you. In the same room, they're looking at you, and it's like, all right, time to rock out. Yeah. What's your favorite? What's the one that you think that you would, is your personal like?
Currently, maybe a song we did Without You. We did today.
That's pretty cool. No, most definitely.
Would you like to know mine? Because
yes,
I'm playing here in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
I do Blood on the Drum in San Antonio. Blood on the Drum in San Antonio, and there's another one that I wrote called Loving Me Up in Texas. Yeah.
He's a true
Texas song, man. Yeah.
Playing to the crowd. Right. So
can't help it. Texas left their mark, man.
When did this origin form? Like what was the first iteration of this band? Like what year did it happen?
For the Matt O'Reed band, it was originally called the Blues Hounds, and that was '94 is when it started. And then it became Matt O'Reed and the Blues Hounds, and then just Matt O'Reed, and then it became Matt O'Reed Band, and so it's just been different incarnations with a lot of musicians over the years.
What year did you say, sorry?
'94.
94. Man.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I was alive now. I have memories.
I was only 10.
Yeah. I was 89, so 5, yeah. Yeah, barely 5.
94, I was 32, 33, 34.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Something like that.
Alright, so this is a perfect time to segue, so we're going to take a quick pause. So, do y'all have we haven't discussed order or anything like that, so we don't know what songs are going up next unless y'all know what order of songs y'all want to release. In which case, you can do a little announcement on this one. Nah? Cool?
You pick it.
What did you pick? Yeah.
Heard. Well, here comes the song, because we know what's happening.
Wake up in the morning and I thank my lucky stars.
So, alright, we were just talking about Robert Plant. What would you say is your favorite, like, what's your favorite, like, rock star? Like, who's your big, doesn't have to be about the music, it could just be, like, strictly, who's your favorite, you know, of all time, this is not alive.
I mean, I'd still probably go with Page, Jimmy Page. You know.
Why?
I mean, it was what we were just talking about. He was like the whole rock star package thing, imagery, the way he played, the way he moves, all that stuff. You know, like he just set the bar to such a level that no one's ever come close to.
What's your favorite album?
Zeppelin record? Oh, that's a tough one. That's really hard. I'd probably.
Alright, so your favorite rock star, you think about the favorite record.
Go down.
Favorite rock star. I mean, it's definitely Robert Plant's up there, but Hendrix is pretty good.
He is really bad, man.
Any specific reasons? I mean, other
Same,
His
you know.
style.
Oh my god, yeah.
Although Robert Plant.
he like mastered stereo before engineers knew how to master like
Oh, that's
like
good.
like how like bounce everything from back and forth. Like there were still people
Shucks.
mixing drums all on the right side, doing stupid shit back then. But okay, so favorite record from Robert Plant?
Or Zeppelin?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have been like a solo or any of the other like multiple rock stuff. Open-ended question. Go ahead.
Probably. I would probably say Zeppelin 2 or Physical Graffiti, I think. If it was Hendrix, I would say Axis Bolt is Love is probably still one of my favorites.
What about you?
Picking a favorite album of them is hard, but maybe Zeppelin 4.
Yeah. And Zeppelin 3's great. I mean, they're all
That's
like...
what mine in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're gonna ask you questions, Joe.
Robert Plant, without a doubt, my hero.
Okay, so which album?
Houses of the Whole.
Okay, so
And I was fortunate enough to play with his guitar player, Buddy Miller, when he was with Band of Joy.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a couple gigs with Buddy, which was really cool, and he did the Alison Krauss thing. Yeah, definitely Houses of the Whole.
Right.
So, of Zeppelin and Hendrix, like, what's your favorite two songs of like, just favorite two? And I know these are kind of, you know, they change day by day and everything, but what would you say currently, like, if you had to pick two that you were like, no, it's time to listen and drive home or whatever kind of thing?
From Hendrix to Axis.
Okay.
And Zeppelin, probably the Wanton song.
Great song, great song.
Yeah.
Black Star's my favorite Zeppelin song. I know it's kind of cliche, but I love that song.
Have fun.
Okay. What else? Two.
For Hendrix, I love Crosstown Traffic.
Yeah.
My favorite song would be 10 Years Gone by Zeppelin. Soft Graffiti, though, not House of the Holy. That would be the one I'd want to listen to. Yeah, I love that song.
Well, you guys.
Well, I got pick two?
Yeah, pick two.
The second would be the Rain song off House of the Holy.
Okay, let's get a curveball. Jojo, what's your favorite like rock star? Who doesn't have to be like rock star in the who's your favorite like icon of music?
Let's see here, let's go with, probably,
You can hear it in the room.
I'm trying to remember his name, right now.
Alright, what band though?
It wasn't, like, it was, he was also acted and everything, and then,
Acted. What song? Give us
yeah, it
songs.
was,
Give us songs.
Okay, can I change my answer?
Yeah. This is open-ended. Let you.
I wanna hear his story.
We're not gonna sit y'all like
Jerry Reed.
Brady.
I love Jerry Reed. But I want to change my answer.
Alright, do you have a specific two songs?
Eastbound Down.
Jerry Reed.
Oh, Jerry Reed.
yeah, definitely for sure, Amos Moses, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever hear Jerry Reed's She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shot?
Yes, that's another one.
Jerry Reed, you talking about Burt Reynolds? Burt Reynolds, Jerry Reed.
Yeah,
He's fucking great. Yeah, I know the singer. Yeah, he did the.
He wrote the
Well, he did this song, right?
In the band.
Yeah.
Alright, so that he talked about being an actor. That brings a good question. You got a favorite movie or like couple like other than what's your favorite movie?
Blues Brothers.
Ooh, good classy movie. Aaron?
Oh God.
About the fetish.
Princess Bridesmaid.
Ooh, another home run. Yo.
Godfather.
Oh man,
I thought you were gonna go Jaws.
Jaws, he's a tough man. You know, all of a sudden I'm thinking my second musician, I'm thinking Elton John or, you know.
I wanted to change my rock star answer. I forgot.
Well,
Elvis.
Oh, yes, okay. Alright, so what was the first instrument you played?
Guitar.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Piano. I played piano first.
Did y'all ever sing before like playing? Like I was in choir before I ever got into playing an instrument.
Oh yeah, I sang.
I didn't start singing until I was playing.
Guitar first instrument. Joe?
Singing was first, then piano.
Okay. Then I know your answer. Bass. Actually, no, fuck it. No, I lied. Sorry, go ahead.
Trombone.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I was in
The bone, I was in it, man.
I was in the band with that.
I actually, I did play in the band, but I played piano guitar first.
Alright, so the release of this is still tentative, but like what shows y'all have, what was y'all's most recent gigs that y'all had in the past like a few weeks, and what's the ones that y'all have coming up? Like we're trying to, make a time capsule here, so what was the last like 2-3 gigs that y'all played?
Well, we've been in Dallas for what, a week now, I guess, or something?
Yeah, we did Nate's in Addison,
Nate's is cool.
Yeah.
and then we did the Goat.
The Goat, I love
The Goat in Dallas. The Goat's cool.
Yeah.
And then we did Wizards in Richardson.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was gonna say, we maybe shouldn't say that one.
What? Wizards? No, Wizards was cool. They just the DJ was so goddamn loud.
That's
man.
fine.
Jesus Christ.
Before
It's
that.
okay, I have filmed like 4 episodes of this podcast and the amount of shit that's been talked on it. Well, alright, I ain't editing anything.
They know it because
From
we
the mouths
bitched about
of
it to them
babes.
anyway. Yeah, they know it.
Well, we're still in Dallas for another week.
Alright, so what's the next one's coming up?
And then we're heading, well,
When they see they look at me, I gotta give you
I know.
I have to ask my drummer.
Harvest House is next.
Yeah.
That's Thursday night. Harvest the Harvest House. Friday night is Tavern on Main in Richardson.
That's a fun place.
Yep. Saturday night is Poor David's in Dallas. That'll be an acoustic show, start acoustic anyway. And then
Balcony Club.
Balcony Club, which is also, that'll be mostly acoustic. We'll kick in a little electric afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Tolbert's on the 4th is our last one.
Tolbert's out here.
We've got a recording session in the middle of that for me over January sounds, but
Yeah.
Then we're in New Orleans, and then we're in Jacksonville.
And we're back to Daytona for Bike Week.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be a good one.
I think that's on the road, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a while. And we started in Florida.
Yep.
We started in DC, we left.
When do y'all go home?
After the Bike Week stuff,
Yeah.
That's good.
But then we're back out on the road 2 weeks after
And then we
that.
come back to Jacksonville. And for a couple festivals, then we go back home. And then in May, we're
In June, we're out west.
we're out to New Mexico and Colorado and Ohio.
Oh
My
my
son
God.
will be drumming on that too. It won't be me
All
again.
over the place.
It won't be me.
Do y'all have like any favorite books? Like, do y'all like to read or any radio shows, any TV shows, any long form media that y'all enjoy? Like, how do you pass the time when you're on the road? Just music?
We listen to podcasts sometimes, yeah.
What podcast do you like?
He likes the ones with the serial killers.
Yeah, we kind of.
No, those are good ones. They're basically just like murder mysteries.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're based on true.
Because as you're driving, you're like, wow, that guy's well screwed up.
A few years back, I heard or read a thing online that podcasts and like talk radio, anything that's like the problem with listening to music on like long road trips is that there's like a psychological set. It's either 3.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, 7.5. Like there's like set lengths of songs, like subconsciously through our music kind of thing. And so like the conversations kind of make it where it passes through a little bit. Like you don't notice the time passing as much.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like,
But then those like pop videos and pop videos for a long time.
you're hearing somebody's voice just the ordinary talking, it'll actually want to keep you awake.
Yeah.
Unlike music, like where, like some people listen to music to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I used to do it, years ago with CB radio. Let's try.
Just chat the
There's
whole.
something to keep you, like, keep you
Also, if you get lost. I've personally been in a situation where we kind of got lost and it was before cell phones.
Yeah.
It was easy just, okay, which hour are you? Okay, got it. We were trying to go to Six Flags, believe it or not.
Boy.
Yeah, I was like 15, yeah. So, do y'all have like any oh shit like stories of like what's like any what are they called? No. What's the worst technical difficulty that you had like performing on like all the touring and shit? Like what's the worst technical difficulty that you encountered? Like it didn't have to be live, but like if it was on stage, that's even better.
It's really, no show ever goes perfectly well. And if you actually have a show,
No fires.
if you have a show that is perfect from start to finish, everything is right, all the notes were right, and no technical problem, do not get on an airplane. No. I don't mind when a thing goes wrong, because I know that we're still.
I mean, I've had shows where musicians didn't show up.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty common thing.
A flat tire on the way.
Car issues.
Any wrecks or anything on the road?
No.
Thank God.
Thank God. We've driven down, like the bus broke down.
Middle of Texas, yeah.
Ooh, was it summer?
It was just coming to June.
I was on a crossover out the other night at Nate's and we had to cancel the gig. This was last month.
Oh, really?
With Brian, yeah, with Brian. And yeah, we blew the crossover right out of the speaker. We ended up canceling pretty much the last set. Yeah, so I say it. So they're good people.
Something always goes wrong.
Yeah.
No, always.
Pedal breaks or a hi-hat, something goes down.
I love being at a wedding and the bride, it's like it's a big day, right? And they've been waiting for it and something goes wrong at the wedding and people are like, what the fuck? Yeah. And crowd musicians are like,
Our wedding was so easy. And I was like, I'm just gonna fucking party.
What got me into doing engineering stuff was weddings, and so my number one rule was, alright, I ain't gonna piss off the bride no matter what. Like, no matter how bad they're freaking out, I was like,
That's not a good idea.
yeah, no. And also the song selection, it's okay if you request a song. Talk to the bride or her mom.
Yeah.
The people who sign the check.
That was at our wedding, there was a guy that we hired to do videography, and he decided last minute he wasn't going to film video, he was going to take photos.
Yeah, we had no video of our wedding.
Yeah, really? And he
So I mean, cut the lines in my ass, right?
Yeah, really. And then he pushed my mom out of the way in order to take pictures.
It's just, he went rogue.
He went rogue.
Nice way of putting it.
And then we have some famous friends. And he spent most of his time taking pictures of our friends who were famous. That's all he wanted to do. So he decided he was gonna just take pictures of them.
started posting stuff online.
They were on our honeymoon and he was looking for them.
Like, what? You haven't even seen me yet. Why would you post them on Facebook?
That's half naked because he was getting ready. He had all these pictures of it.
Far out, man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the wedding is a good segue, so how did y'all actually meet? So we'll start with Matt and then how y'all met.
We talked about
No, I don't know.
Guitar Center, and I had won the King of the Blues Guitar Player.
That's the guitar that you were playing today?
2006.
Yep.
That was one of the ones I got, and at the same time when I got that is when I had met Aaron right after the...
Oh, did y'all meet at that, or?
No, we met at a venue in Asbury Park, New Jersey called the Wonder Bar, which we still perform at.
Were y'all playing?
We were playing
at an event.
I was playing solo and he was playing solo.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That was our new cut.
That exactly happened.
And ironically, we're in the paper today because he proposed to me on that same stage.
Yeah, so anyway, we were doing a Christmas show there, he was going to propose, and I was like, well, this seems like fitting, because this is where we met, and that was in the newspaper at home.
Yeah, the Asbury Park Press put out saying like cool events that happened in our engagement photo.
Alright, the pump where he down on his knee. That one. Oh, yeah, that's a cool one.
So how did y'all meet Joe? You've known him for years.
I met Joe at, what the hell was that?
I met you. Actually, I met you through Eric Collier.
Oh boy.
Yes.
That's how I met you, with Eric, and I met Eric. I was playing with Chris Francesi, I think.
Yes.
Doing some gigs down in Asbury, and then he moved me over to Magic Red. I started playing with him, and then you and Bob Bella had gone on tour with Monster Magnet. You needed a drummer, and that's how I got in. And so Eric said, I got this guy, and that was it. And you were still Metal Arena Blues Hands at that time. So we were just a trio.
Yeah.
What year was this?
2002, 2003.
Yeah, about 2002 to 2003.
I was like,
A lot of fun times. Yeah, a lot of fun times.
I was in high school-ish. Like, I was like, it was 2000. I graduated in 07, so... No, I was in junior high.
Because you're older than my son. You're older than Johnny. This guy.
So...
you and I met, I think, at Havana or something.
That's right. I saw you sing at Havana. That was the first time. I think I staggered over from John and Peter, but you were great. I remember that. And I want to say that the first time that I ever actually backed you up, I don't know if it was Bar A during Sandy's thing. I think it was before that. Yeah, I think it was before that. And I can't remember where. It was some small clubs. It's maybe something with Jersey Jazz and Blues thing. I can't remember. I was drinking back then. I can't remember a damn thing.
We all met today.
That's right. We met this day. Yeah, you guys.
We met you today.
Well, yeah, anyway, so again, back in Jersey, I think a lot of people play with everybody kind of knows each other and that kind of thing.
Very incestuous.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, speaking of musicians that are like always get around per se, what are some of the ones that y'all like you would play with multiple times, like some close associate bands that you would admire? Like I have some of the friend bands that like I just played numerous gigs with. Like what's some of your peers in the music industry that you're just like they deserve a shout out kind of thing?
Oh, Melody Truck Band.
Yeah, Melody Trucks is the daughter of Bush Trucks, who was the drummer of the Allman Brothers.
Oh.
Also,
My mom loved the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
They come up to Jersey and do some gigs with us at the One Bar.
Yeah.
And then we do some stuff with them down in Jacksonville. We kind of like straight shit.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah.
There's a couple other heroes of ours back home too. Sonny Ken.
Now he's not.
Sonny had years.
Who else I know?
Willie
Hector.
For sure.
Reagan and
Williams Honor.
Yeah, Williams Honor. Down here in Texas, I have to say probably the best country singer, and I worked with quite a few of them. Jeff Hobson. It's just outstanding. What a voice, man, and a great songwriter. He should be way up there, man. He's great. Jeff is really good.
And then Carbon Walls in Nashville.
Oh yeah, Kelly. Yeah.
Alright, and that brings us to our next song. So we will be back. Thank you.
Running round, don't know who they're fooling, like the face of a clown. So why can't they see all the damage that they've done, people that they hurt? At the end of the day, can't believe all these visions before me. So why can't they see all the damage that they've done? The people that they hurt. At the end of the day, when all is said and done, all that's left in this world is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. It's my mind, my heart are growing old from the cruelness of this world. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord me. So why can't they see all the damage that they've done? People that they hurt. At the end of the day, when all is said and done, all that's left in this world is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Is the saints and the sinners. The saints and the sinners. Doggy.
That does come on. It's fucking great. Remind me of Monsters or something.
Alright, and we're back. Hey, play the fucking eyes. Good one. Okay, so what songs have we played tonight?
So far, I know we did
Well, what songs did we run? What songs did we run throughout the evening?
we did
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Saints and sinners.
Yes.
Without you.
And Black Boots.
Okay, so
I'm his brain.
Thank you.
He goes, wait, hold on a second, let me get my brain. Aaron!
Aaron.
So speaking of your brain, well, when's the anniversary?
September 9th.
Yes.
Doesn't quite quick enough.
That's funny.
September 9th.
So better question, what are you getting her this year? I
You got time.
I got time to figure it out.
Oh, that is true. Alright, so do y'all have a preferred instrument brand? Like, what's the one that just always seems to do it for you?
Me at Gibson and Martin. would be-
Classic, you can't go wrong with them.
Guild.
Guild, also classic. Joe, what about you? What was you drums or piano?
Ludwig is my first choice in DW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm usually responsible.
Well, yeah, Gretchen's
What about strings? How's your preference on strings?
For electric GHS, yeah, I have an endorsement with them, but for acoustic guitar, strings Martin.
What about picks?
Picks I used on 500 series.
Can't go wrong with the Dunlop. What about you? You do string instruments also, correct?
I use cool picks.
Okay.
You ever use those?
I have not.
Yeah, like a little stand gatery kind of thing. It's kind of cool.
My hands split.
So, what's your favorite skin for your heads?
I go back and forth between Evans, G1s, G2s, and Remo Ambassadors or Emperors, depends on the drum.
What about sticks?
Sticks, I'm using Regal Tip, Chester Thompson signatures, or I'm using Bickford Questlove signature sticks.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, they're long, they're 17 inches, I like the longer sticks.
What was the first like music store y'all that you ever went to? Mine was Cool's Music up in Gainesville, just this tiny little like mom and pop shop. It lived up above this place, and but like it could be big store, little store, any of them. What was the first shop y'all remember going to?
Mine was Freehold Music on Route 9. They used to hang out there after school.
Jersey, yeah. Funny thing about what you just said, it's like I miss all those mom and pop places because that was where like you found a lot of cool stuff. But
also, you've met so many talented musicians.
oh my god, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, the guy who ran Cool's, Billy, taught me so many things just as while I was this, 15-year-old, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old hoodlum just, playing on the BC Riches as we were talking about earlier. Just like picking up the guitar, making a lot of noise and, but those small shops are really nice. Alright. What's your favorite format to listen to? Are you a record? Do you like CDs? Do you like, tapes? Do you like digital? What do you think? What are you somebody who you're like records now? What?
It depends on the artist and record you're talking about.
That's fair.
So
I recently discovered the love of it.
for the most part, I would love, or I do love. We still do it. We just got a new turntable at home for Christmas too. It's still on vinyl. Thanks for.
What's like y'all's go-to vinyls that y'all have at home?
Well, the first thing he put on was Government Mule.
Yeah, some of
But I bought him
the
Elvis.
records are audiophile grade, 180 gram records, and they really sound great. But
I bought you the Elvis Live one for Christmas.
yes, yeah. But still Hendrix that I listened to on vinyl, and Zeppelin, of course. Like that era of music, because it was recorded and made for the medium of vinyl. It makes sense,
No, the thing that I've found. The one thing that I find that is the real difference is, at least personally, because I just discovered this, is it's mixed differently, and the way the engineers go about mixing the songs is completely different. And then also, I enjoy the front to back aspect of it, meaning you have to. There's no like, I like this song, I'm gonna skip to the next song. Like I like having to listen to the whole artist picture that they're painting, and
sure.
That's a cool concept about it. But I gotta say, there's nice clarity and a hard 808 that comes out that didn't exist back then.
Those big difference back then was with the engineers.
Well, speaker systems is a huge difference. Now we are completely able to replicate low sounds with low volumes.
The big difference back then with the engineers, okay, is they use their ears, not their eyes.
I would argue that engineers still use their ears, because I actively am an engineer, the eyes can't help you ballpark, but you can really, you gotta listen, you gotta find those frequencies. Ringing out your speakers is a crucial thing whenever it comes to your room.
I just think Pro Tools got so much in it. It's cool, it's got, I'm using it right now on my own album, it's got its things, but man, sometimes it got so in the way of the music, and the click track is,
musicians became
unfortunately, everybody.
I like click tracks, but I also like there's a difference between just the live jam, there's beauty and flaws, and that capturing and lightning in a bottle, some of
because bands hung out together back
well, yeah, you had to spend the time, and it's all right, well, that takes such, let's go again.
Auto-tune should be illegal.
At least personally, all these tools that we now have, like Pro Tools, Ableton, Logic, Reason, GarageBand, all of them, they are just a tool. And despite the fact that music is changing, it is nice that we're now at the point where if I was my age 30, 40 years ago, I would not have all the gear I have. I have all the gear I have because it is good gear that was good 20 years ago, and I was like, hey, garage sales kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, but that stuff is so good quality. It's just now the home studio is something that's important because it allows all these communities to create. And really,
I'm not against digital
No,
recording.
I'm not either.
You're 100% right though. And there's a huge crush in it if you rely to it way too much.
To fix things in
A
it.
lot of times, like false advertising.
It is.
It's like, oh,
Without a doubt it is.
they didn't actually
You're
say it that
absolutely
way.
right, sure.
But if you had an incredible take and you had one note that was bothering you, you can fix it. But I had this positive.
But or that one note might be
Could be.
worth.
My favorite documentary is called Sound City. It's about the studio over in LA that a lot of the Fleetwood Mac stuff. Yeah, like it was a good movie. Well, what I like it gave me a look into the actual how they actually edited tape because I my first entry into this digital recording or even in-cab recording was like FL Studios, just little loop of drum beat moving through. And now the nice part is being able to just get involved with that and be able to move through it and actually learn it without some people don't learn how to play guitar by going to school. It's nice that there's a whole generation of kids that are able to learn how to do this without having any formal education.
Yeah.
Don't pirate shit, but do what you gotta do.
No. I mean, figuring out in the heyday of the 70s, I mean, everything obviously was on tape, but all the studios had full-time engineers. They had full-time techs that kept the gear up and running.
And the
When things
record companies are feeding money out left and right, so the bands are in those studios for hours and hours and hours.
Oh yeah. Well, it was notorious for the bands to actually move into a studio.
Absolutely.
It's no live there.
That's right.
Because that's why I like the home studio so much, because the capturing and lightning in a bottle. If you get inspired and be able to lay something down, which that's what they were able to do.
Right, all of a sudden at 4 in the morning, everybody wakes
it's
up,
let's do this.
That's when we do it, that's right.
Everybody's had too much coffee.
Then back then with the limitations of editing and punching in and finding
and you actually had
a spot to punch in.
Well, that's why tape is so important.
You had to rehearse it to get it right before you even thought about hitting the record button. But musicians back then could play their instruments.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't relying on fixing this and fixing that.
Going A to Z, having that endurance, because what are you gonna do whenever you're playing it live?
Yeah.
You got to have that endurance. Playing a full song, no matter if you. Also, the skill of being able to just be performing with a band, and so what? Let's say there was a obvious mistake. Being able to catch yourself and not let it we have to start over. Being able to just move through it that adaptability is something that's so crucial, which some people don't get the opportunity to mess with.
Years ago, what would happen is you get a band that's doing an album in the studio, and all of a sudden they had these midnight shows. One was called the Midnight Special, the other was Don Kirshner's rock concert.
Yeah,
those bands had to go on, they had to play live.
Perfect.
And you had
not like the Super Bowl.
Right. You had to play live, and you had to pull that shit off. You know,
if you fuck up, then
and
there was your chance.
Yeah,
but that was the thing, when you played live, it sounded different than the record did. But that was kind of the beauty of it. But it depends on how some bands sounded terrible live, some sounded really good.
Yeah.
Well, that is the one thing that's also nice about music, because you can listen to a band on a nice sound system 1,000 times. That still does not give you the sensation of being there, feeling that hit watching them perform, watching the energy. I think that's one of the arguments I've always had about metal.
Yeah.
Is you might not like metal, because obviously I've been a metalhead for ever since I got into this stuff. But you might not like metal, but go to a metal show. You tell me you don't feel that energy from that. It's just a matter of going to a show allows you to I know that you interpret the music in a different way. Yeah, that's why it's
a lot of fun.
Thankfully for that, that's the one thing that the internet can't.
Exactly.
It tries,
but that live thing like that you're saying, it's not only
it's ironic because we're doing live performance. We're just straight to the irony of what we just said.
The live performance, the smell of the weed, the smell of the beer, the smell of the
sweat.
The
dude who fell over in the pit and is bleeding.
You hear a song today, you go, oh man, I remember that.
Oh yes.
It's an experience. It's much for especially Joe and I growing up with a turntable, that's what we had.
Yeah.
So when we hear those records on vinyl, we remember the.
Oh, so there's big
We were
sound.
hearing it for the first time like that, and that's why I was saying back to the vinyl thing. It's like certain records, yes, other stuff.
I carry an iPod, and I think I'm not shit.
An iPod.
That too? Now, I'm gonna talk about my iPod.
Having music on the go is just so wonderful. It's just like some people like really enjoy it. Like I do know some people who still swear to that, like live or die by the 8-track. Like I know.
It's not thin.
I know.
There's a reason why they even last that long.
And cassettes were really not, was just as bad too.
No, they weren't. Their 8-tracks were terrible sound, and sometimes you had to put like books of matches under them, you know, to make the sound. Oh, they were terrible.
I grew up with cassette tape, and those are like, you can only record on them a couple times so that you start hearing the song.
And she says, and then you had auto reverse in your car. Remember, if you had auto reverse, it would flip the cassette so you could listen to the other side without pushing the cassette and taking it out. That was hot. If you had auto reverse in your car, you were hot shit.
Remember I had my little boombox where you had to take one
Alright, so first car.
78 money.
What was that? 78 money gun?
Money.
Good car.
White.
Yeah, I'm not as cool. I had Dodge Neon.
My mom had one of those. I
I
had to drive a lot. I never owned that one. Well, I've went through a lot of different.
When I was 17, I didn't give a crap. I just wanted the car.
A 74 Plymouth Fury was my mom's.
He was even better for us if you can remember.
And then I had a 77 GMC truck.
Oh,
Yeah, I bought that about $1,500.
What was the first song that you listened to in the first car?
What? Can't remember.
Oh, I can. You know what? I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now what was like.
I staged it perfectly.
I don't know. I don't know if I had an 8-track, but I can remember driving that car, and the song that sticks out to me the most was "More Than a Feeling" by Boston.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mine was "I'm the One" from Van Halen.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
Yeah. So, chocolate starfish. Limp Bizkit. The reverse of
I was very
into it. Get out of the house and go just for a ride anywhere. It was like
This is
that first song was really.
No. Oh, most definitely. I definitely get that.
Other than
Succubus. No, Succubus is a female. Incubus is a male.
no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
So, alright, I think this is a safe place to call it time. So, where can we find y'all guys? Let's give us a place for any viewers to be able to check y'all out, give y'all likes, subscribes, and that shit. So,
MattoreBand.com, so it's MATTOREE band.com, and on social media at.
Mattery Band.
Thank you.
the brains.
Yes.
Me, you can, y'all can just hit me up on Facebook. My website's been down for years. I got stalked. And don't stalk me on Facebook either, man. But you can hit me up on Facebook. I don't have a website right now. And I doubt that I will again soon once the album's done. Yeah, once the album's done, I'll be back up. I'll get something up. And that's coming soon.
Alright, so, and I know we talked about this briefly. What's the next shows y'all got on the docket? Just a quick little reminder.
Harvest House is this Thursday night.
What, Thursday night, what? What's the date? I'm sorry.
Oh, the 27th.
Okay, yeah, 27th is the Harvest House.
Matt's birthday's on Wednesday.
Yeah, 27th is the Harvest House. 28th is Tavern on Main. 29th is Port David's. The 1st is Balcony Club, and the 4th is Tallbush and Grapevine.
Okay. Do y'all have any albums or anything coming out?
We do have 2 new singles that we're working on right now to be released. Early spring.
What formats can you find those on?
It'll be iTunes, it'll be Spotify, and it'll be a free download on our website.
Yeah, we have free music on our website.
Okay. Hell yeah.
You're going to be recording me next time, in a couple weeks from now, so you can hear it's called Tigers, Ghosts, and Love Songs.
Very nice.
Joe Leslie D'Angelo, Tigers, Ghosts, and Love Songs.
That is going to be a lot of fun. I have so many on the books that, like, by the end of it, I expect I'm going to be looking like a zombie on camera. but fortunately, I really enjoy doing this kind of thing because I get to see a lot of very good acts. I also get to work on my trade and craft, and also it's just nice getting to know the different musicians that And as I joke with my friends, I'm gonna be like, whenever I'm like 93, senile in like a futuristic nursing home, I'm gonna be watching these old videos, be like, that's my grandson. But all right, so Matt, Aaron, Joe, thank you so very much for joining me on this. And then hopefully, if y'all come back through and have a new set of like stuff, like feel free to like get in contact because the goal is to keep this going. And Joe, yet again, we will have you on the books, and then we're gonna like
once these guys get the hell out of here, and then get this shit out of the way, and then I can get my own act together.
Well, I mean, you're on the album. I mean, you're already here. We got, let's just, all right, let's just keep it going. Your set's next. All right, so we're gonna call it there. So thank you all very much for your time. Fucking cut.
It's a hard place to live every day. There's always those little things that seem to stay, like the colors in autumn or the shape of one smile. Yours makes my life seem worthwhile. Without you, the sun don't shine, birds won't sing a message. Without you, the words and songs don't rhyme. Without you, the tide won't rise. No more seasons in the weather. Without you, my heart's just longing to be. When everything seems tough to reach up above, don't lose your feather from my dove. If you feel like you're broken, just want to surrender before you get lost. Please remember, without you, the sun don't shine, birds won't sing a measure. Without you, the words and songs don't rhyme. sing